In the stillness of space, where silence is the only sound, our nearest cosmic neighbor hangs like a bright jewel in the sky. The moon has been watching over Earth for billions of years, its pale light shining on our planet's surface every night. But while the moon seems calm and peaceful, it has many fascinating secrets waiting to be discovered. The story of the moon began over 4.5 billion years ago, shortly after Earth itself was born. Back then, the young Earth was still forming, covered in molten rock and bubbling with volcanoes. Suddenly, a colossal event occurred. A Mars-sized object named Theia crashed into Earth with incredible force. The collision was so powerful that it sent huge chunks of Earth's surface flying into space. These pieces, made of rock and molten material, slowly came together and formed a new celestial body. This was the moon, born from the chaos of that ancient impact. As it cooled and solidified, the moon became the round, cratered sphere we know today. One of the most striking features of the moon is its surface, covered in craters of all shapes and sizes. These craters are scars from the many meteoroids, asteroids, and comets that have crashed into the moon over billions of years. Without an atmosphere to protect it, the moon is constantly bombarded by space rocks, each impact leaving its mark. But not all of the moon's surface is rough and cratered. There are also vast dark plains known as maria, which is Latin for seas. Early astronomers thought these areas were filled with water, but they're actually large, flat plains of solidified lava. These maria were formed by ancient volcanic eruptions that spewed molten rock across the moon's surface, filling in the craters and creating smooth, dark patches. The moon and Earth are locked in a delicate dance, each influencing the other in powerful ways. The most visible effect of this relationship is the ocean tides. The moon's gravity pulls on Earth's oceans, causing the water to rise and fall in a rhythmic pattern. This is why we have high tides and low tides along our coastlines. But the moon doesn't just affect the oceans, it also plays a role in stabilizing Earth's tilt. Without the moon, our planet would wobble much more on its axis, leading to wild swings in climate. The moon's gravitational pull helps keep Earth steady, ensuring that our seasons remain relatively stable over long periods of time. Chapter 4, The Far Side Mystery. One of the moon's most intriguing mysteries is its far side. Because the moon is tidally locked to Earth, we only ever see one side of it. The other side, often called the dark side of the moon, remains hidden from view. For many years, this hidden side was a complete mystery. It wasn't until the Soviet Lunar 3 spacecraft took the first pictures of the far side in 1959 that we got our first glimpse of what lies there. To everyone's surprise, the far side looks very different from the side we see. It is much more rugged, with far more craters and fewer maria. Scientists are still studying this difference, trying to understand why the two sides of the moon are so different. Chapter 5. The moon's influence on time. Did you know that the moon is slowly drifting away from Earth? It's true. Every year, the moon moves about 3.8 centimeters, or 1.5 inches, farther from our planet. This may not sound like much, but over millions of years, it adds up. As the moon moves away, it affects the length of our days. Long ago, when the moon was much closer to Earth, our planet spun much faster. A day on Earth was only about 6 hours long. But as the moon's gravity slowed down Earth's rotation, our days gradually lengthened. Today, a day is 24 hours long, but millions of years in the future, it will be even longer. Chapter 6. The moon's role in exploration. The moon has always been a source of wonder for humans, inspiring countless myths, legends, and scientific studies. But it wasn't until the 20th century that humans finally had the technology to visit the moon. On July 20th, 1969, history was made when NASA's Apollo 11 mission successfully landed the first humans on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped onto the lunar surface, leaving footprints that will remain there for millions of years. As Armstrong famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The Apollo missions brought back valuable samples of lunar rock and soil, helping scientists learn more about the moon's composition and history. These missions also showed that humans could survive and work in space, paving the way for future exploration of other planets. Chapter 7. The Moon's Strange Anomalies. While the Moon is well studied, it still holds some strange and unexplained mysteries. For example, there are unusual spots on the Moon's surface called mascons, short for mass concentrations. These are areas of a higher gravity, which means there's something dense and heavy buried beneath the surface. Scientists believe these mascons may be the result of ancient asteroid impacts that compressed the lunar crust, creating pockets of dense material. But the exact nature of these mascons is still not fully understood, making them a fascinating subject for further study. Another mystery is the Moon's thin atmosphere, known as an exosphere. Unlike Earth's thick atmosphere, the Moon's exosphere is so thin that it can't support life. However, it's made up of interesting particles like sodium and potassium, which are rare in other celestial bodies. This unique atmosphere raises questions about how it formed and how it changes over time. Chapter 8. The Future of the Moon. As we look to the future, the Moon will likely play a key role in humanity's exploration of space. NASA and other space agencies are planning missions to return to the Moon not just for short visits, but to establish permanent bases. These bases could serve as stepping stones for missions to Mars and beyond. The Moon's resources, like water ice found in permanently shadowed craters, could be crucial for sustaining human life in space. This water could be used for drinking, growing food, or even converted into rocket fuel. The Moon, once thought of as a desolate rock, may become a bustling hub of activity in the future. Chapter 9. The Moon in Our Culture. The Moon has always been a powerful symbol in human culture. It has been associated with gods and goddesses, used as a timekeeper for calendars, and served as inspiration for countless works of art, music, and literature. From ancient civilizations who worshipped the Moon as a deity to modern-day poets who write about its beauty, the Moon continues to captivate our imaginations. It is a reminder of the vastness of the universe and our small yet significant place within it. Chapter 10. The Moon's Eternal Mystery. Despite all we have learned about the Moon, it remains a place of mystery and wonder. Each new discovery raises more questions, keeping scientists and dreamers alike eager to learn more. The Moon is more than just a celestial body, it is a bridge between the known and the unknown, the past and the future. As we continue to explore and understand this fascinating world, we are reminded that the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered. The Moon, our constant companion, will always be there watching over us as we reach for the stars. And so, the story of the Moon continues, a tale of mystery, discovery, and endless fascination.